Welcome back. Let's talk to Budgie Wright. He's a senior real estate consultant for Barbican Square Limited. Morning to you, Budgie.
Nice.
Right, let's talk about London and the South East. What's going on? Tell me about commercial property to kick off with.
Well, we've had some fairly heavy resurgence of Asia-Pacific interest in commercial property in London with some high-profile purchases. The cheese grater went for... was it 1.1 billion, 1.15, and the walkie-talkie for 1.3 billion recently to Asian investors. Hong Kong, Singapore, both represented there. So there's some very strong re-interest, I suppose, back into London real estate. And I would say that is a factor of weakness in sterling, the rule of law and the sanctity of title in the UK. And I suppose a reaction to some of the curbs that have been put in their domestic markets. So whilst the yields are not particularly strong or particularly high, the security of that money is probably still recognised in Asia as being pretty high.
Right. So the flip side of that is I've read at the weekend Ronson selling his 36% stake in the Harran Tower, and they're basically saying, you know, when somebody of that magnitude moves out, we should all be concerned.
Agreed, and you know there are always views on buyers. There's always going to be a winner out of a buyer and seller, right?
Yeah.
In any market, as we know. So Ronson does have a great track record. Chinese have a long time horizon in most of these cases. They're not in this for a 1 to 2 year flip. I would suggest they're probably parking money for safety over a long period of time.
Understood.
And knowing that when they come back, it'll still be there.
Right. In terms of the Germans, what's the status?
Decker and Deutsche Asset both piled in 300-400 million each into properties, despite making contingency plans, at least for Deutsche, to go back to Germany, dependent on, or to move some of their roles back to Germany. I think some of that is structural anyway, that they were going to do that. Some of that is Brexit preparation. But it does show you that not everybody's running for the exits ahead of Brexit, or, sorry, during the negotiations.
Well, in terms of our sort of old trading terms, the bid-offer spread, okay, it strikes me that these are narrowing, and I saw a headline where a £10 million property had been reduced down to £7.5 million.
Yeah.
I've seen a number of reports suggesting that at best we're sort of null and void, and then I'm seeing other reports that we're now going small negative. What's your view on the sort of bid-offer situation at the moment?
Well, certainly since the peak in sort of 2014, we've seen a market pullback in pricing. Largely, there was it'll be all right feeling, I think, amongst sellers. If we hold on long enough, we'll get our asking prices. And we've seen that properties have sat on the market for 12 to 18 months. They're not moving. People have resigned themselves now to the fact that they're going to have to be more realistic. So I think we've seen 10 to 12% reductions on asking prices, and that's where things are transacting, but it's still very slow. And I think part of that is still the concerns over Brexit and what happened post the election, and I think the other part of it is the stamp duty, which is overhanging all domestic residential property, as we know. So the bid offer is definitely narrowing, and it is definitely coming towards the buyer's side.
Right, understood. Budgie, thank you very much indeed.